Today, we have Mandy McAllister joining us again. We're talking about all things mindset. And today we're talking about vision boards and why we think that's important, right? Because vision boards can play a big part in your life, we think. She talks about some cool stories about how that's happened in her own life, some experiences she's had with that. And it comes back to sort of attracting stuff, right? If you're thinking about it, you have vision boards and it plants seeds into your head, it really helps you achieve more, we believe. So stick around for all of today's episode. Hello and welcome to Wrestling with Real Estate, where we look to chokeslam all your real estate problems. I'm your host, former WWE wrestler and now Cirque du Soleil performer, and of course, multifamily real estate investor, Barri Griffiths. Now today is one of those special days because again, we're joined by Mandy McAllister. Hey, Mandy.
Oh, hi.
How are you doing? How's everything? How's life treating you currently?
Just living the dream, It's been a really good week. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in life and pumped to get to talk about mindset stuff with you right now.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking beforehand and we were trying to figure out what we want to talk about because there's a lot of cool stuff in mindset we can always talk about. But today we decided to talk about vision boards. And this is going to be an interesting one because I haven't really implemented vision boards before. I believe in them. Trust me, I believe in them. And I've kept meaning to do it. I just haven't got around to do it. But tell me about vision boards and how you think people should use them, how you use them, what your understanding of vision boards is, I guess.
Yeah. So, we've talked before that this idea of new age, whatever, the secret and science of attraction and all of that stuff is not necessarily something that my brain was into a number of years ago. But, as time has gone on here, I totally embrace this idea that whatever you give energy to, you give power to, and you get that energy back, right? So I have an au pair, so a nanny from Germany who lives with me, and we always do host mom date night, we call it. And she's very into this type of stuff too, this personal development mindset thing. So we watched The Secret together, and they talk about vision boards. So the next time we had a date night, my nanny and I, we made vision boards. So, thinking nothing of it, sure, great, I'll do it. I love thinking about goals and outcomes that I want to bring into my life and things like that. No big deal. And so I made a little cork board with a bunch of things that I wanted to achieve, like roughly 6 months ago. And I went to grab something out of my closet in a weird spot that I was cleaning out. And I found this cork board. And Barry, I looked at it and oh my gosh, of like the dozen things on it, like 7 of them had come true in like one way or another, like not necessarily in the way I had anticipated, but it was, my jaw was on the floor just to think through like, oh my gosh, like I gave it brain space, and whether or not it's a real thing or not, who cares? Like, is a real correlation? Is it a spurious correlation? Who knows?
Yeah.
But the fact that these 7 things came true, I think gives it a little more power than I hadn't originally anticipated. There's a lot of ways that vision boards can look, this cork board idea. Like, is there anything that you do in terms of, keeping your focus on the things you want for your life in terms of vision board?
Well, for one, I think that's a really interesting story, right? Because like, it's just crazy how that worked, right? And I think, like you said, right, whether it's the law of attraction and like The Secret and you want to believe in that, but it's like where your focus goes, energy flows, right? Is that the Tony Robbins thing, or is that I've heard that somewhere before? But it was me. I came up with that. But but it's so true. We've talked about this in the law of attraction, right? It's just like what you focus in, all right, is just where your brain goes, right? Because, for example, how many times have you thought about something during the day briefly, right? You may have thought about someone you haven't thought about in a long time, or thought about something you did in a long time. Have you then dreamed about that at night? That you never would have dreamed about before. I've done that. I remember a friend from like 10 years ago that I haven't seen. I'm like, yeah, so and so. And then that night I'll dream about it because it's in my brain. And I feel like vision boards kind of work like that, and the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Once you put it in there in your brain is looking for it, thinking about it, considering it, mm-hmm. open to it, right? And that's, to me, that's how vision boards work. You're programming your brain to look for these things, and you're mm-hmm. reminding you as well about why these things are important, right? And I've not done a vision board, but sometimes I put things on my phone. Like I remember when I first started investing in apartments, I found an apartment building that I wanted to invest, like the type of apartment building I wanted to buy, and I put it as a screensaver on my phone. So anytime then I would go in my phone to open anything or whatever, I would have a picture of that, right? And I've heard of people like putting, I think Michael Phelps, right? And this is not a vision board, but it's a similar thing. When he was training, I read his book. I think he said when he was training in college or wherever it was, he wrote a time that he wanted to hit, and he put it in his pocket, and he kept it in his pocket. And anytime he would like go in, and he would open this time, right? And you talk about, the vision board and things coming true, right? You just, you had that thing, and you had those visions, and I think it planted something in your brain. I think, don't you think?
100%. It was uncanny. It was from like materialistic things to like a bag I wanted to, like I wrote myself a check and like that. It wasn't because I now have that amount of money, but that was, basically committed to the investing stuff that I'm doing with a joint venture. So it's just, it is a lesson too, though, if you ask more specifically, maybe, then you get more specific stuff back. Because that dollar amount, like, it would be way better if that dollar amount was my net worth. But it is really cool that it's going to be committed towards deals that we're going to be working on here. So very, very interesting thing, seeding your brain with what it is that you want out of life, materialistic or otherwise. So, man, I tell you what, I'm going to re-up and ask for some bigger stuff from the universe the next time this go around.
Next time, yeah. But talk us through how did you create your vision board? And I'm sure there's tons of different ways to do it, but I'd be interested in how you all pair did it.
Well, the way we approached it was, we knew that we were going to be having this au pair host mom date night a week in advance. And we just, kept sending pictures to the Walgreens. We would find something online, like a picture of, I wanted this specific bag. I'm not like, I'd been carrying a $14 purse for like 5 years. So I wanted this, whatever. Anyway, so I found a picture of it, whatever, and I sent it to the Walgreens pharmacy, and I bought the picture for like 9 cents or something, right? And then when it came time to put this together, I just had a cork board and a lot of thumbtacks, and we just put it all together in kind of like an interesting looking way. There's a bunch of apps on your phone too. So actionable steps, if you don't want to do this with actual pictures, you can, there's apps on your phone. So like you put that apartment building, you could do that plus, if you wanted to go to the Bahamas or whatever it is that you want to do, you could have different pictures, and it kind of makes a collage of things that ends up serving as a business or a vision board that would be a background to your phone or something like that. So, actionable for me was just printing out a bunch of pictures, cutting stuff out of magazines, and just tacking it all together. And honestly, next time I do it, I'm not sticking it in the closet. I'm putting it in a place where I can see it on a regular basis. So it was just such an interesting story that I wanted to make sure that we shared with folks.
No, honestly, that's kind of inspired me to want to put some pictures, because what I hear a lot of people do is they put pictures on their wall, right? Wherever their office is, wherever they're spending and doing their work, they put that pictures on the wall. And I think what it does as well is, right, and again, I'm no expert in this, but is that not only does it attract that, but if you have it on your wall, it inspires you, right? In the day when you're like, I don't feel like making that call, don't feel like underwriting that deal, writing that email, whatever it is, right? And if you look at that picture or whatever you are aspiring to achieve on the wall, it can kind of motivate you to push through tougher times, I think, as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that as well, one last question from me is, do you do what you want for the year, or do you do what you want for life, or is it just up to you?
I think you can approach that in a bunch of different ways. But in terms of goal setting for myself, I find that when things feel more actionable, I put more action behind them. So I like to, have an annual goal, but I kind of drill it down into quarters, right? Because that's 3 months is enough time that it's far enough out that I'm not going to finish it tomorrow, but it's close enough that if I'm not taking some action today, then I know I'm not going to get it done. A whole year, it's fine. I don't need to start reading books. I can read, however many books by the end of the year, but that breaking an annual goal down to a quarter, and I'll be honest, like I didn't anticipate having some of these things come to fruition in 6 months' time, right? So I feel like there's a lot to be said for, what do you want for your life in general? And put that in front of yourself, because it might come to fruition quicker than you think.
Yeah. 12-week Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Haven't got there yet, but it's definitely. I hear everyone saying massively good things. You've probably read it, right? You're a good reader. Cool. Well, hey, Mandy, where can people find out more about what you've got going on, and if they want to get in contact, how can they do so?
Yeah, absolutely. The very best way to get a hold of me is on mandymcallister.com, has information on our aspirational women's group, Aspiring Women Achieving More, and also on our investment firm, Good Fortune Capital.
Good Fortune Capital. Cool. Thank you, Mandy. You're awesome.
Thank you.